All right. As promised that we will continue 7.3, 7.2.3 in this video. Now, let me just explain this part. Ne? All right. Already I've explained the sinking fund at what and what, right? Let me come here to this point here. Sorry, let me minimize that. Number of payments. Calculating number of payments. All right. What do I mean by saying number of payments? Now, all right, I will start this again. If I went by to a shop, maybe let's say I'm labeling what? A shoe. All right? I'm labeling a take there. I'm labeling my sneaker there. I lay by this sneaker in January, right? I lay by this sneaker in January, and now I'm told that I should pay this sneaker from from January until December, 12 months, right? 12 months. Now, what will happen is that check. Here is my sneaker here, Nike. Let's say it is a Nike sneaker, right? All right. You lay by this sneaker in January, you take it home with you. All right. When do you start doing payment? You start doing payments from February, right? Until when? Until December. Let's count. February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. All right. Then if that's the case, we say the transaction is okay. It's gonna be whatever number of months that you have to pay, right? But let's say you take a sneaker in January until December. If you start paying in January, immediately after taking your shoe, you will to the number of payments. Let's say you're supposed to do 11 payments. Let's say here you are supposed to do 11 payments. Started paying at February. But if you start paying instantly in January, you're gonna do 12 payments, which is 11 payments plus the month where you became excited for the new take and decided to just pay immediately. All right. So if you start paying in January, you will do what? You will pay an extra month, right? All right. This is what we call immediate payment. Immediate payment adds a month, right? All right. The interesting one is this one again. Um, all right. Now, the normal one in January, you get a take, you start paying in February, then you end paying in December, right? This is the normal, what you are supposed to do in normal way. But let's say when you start paying in February as normal, but end up make the last payment in October. So when you make the last payment in October, now how many months? If you're supposed to pay the normal 11 months, 11 payments actually, 11. If you're supposed to do 11 payments, here how many payments you're gonna do? So let's count. February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October. So it means when now you're gonna pay, you're gonna do what? Nine payments. All right. This is when you have done what? You have ended paying. When you are done paying earlier than you are supposed to end paying your money. All right. I don't know the English how I can put it in a nice way. Right. This is early payment. Uh, what can I say? Early what? Yeah, but finishing early to pay. Finishing early to pay, you do what? You subtract the number of payments. Subtract number of payments. But now, in a scenario of a real life a scenario, when you want to purchase a car, in 5 years. All right. When you want to purchase a Mini Cooper in 5 years, or rather, you purchase a Mini Cooper today. All right. You purchase a Mini Cooper today, and you are supposed to take 5 years to pay this man. 5 years, and it is compounded monthly. All right. How many payments are you supposed to do? Number of payments. The number of payments is gonna be 5 multiplied by the months that you're supposed to pay, which is how much? Which is 60. Right. Let's say you start wanting to buy this man, and you go to the what? To that company that sells car, and it is in January. All right. This is where you do the deal with the manager of that company and say, I'm going to pay this amount of money, hey, blah, blah, blah. And they tell you that it's going to take you 5 years with that a certain amount of money that you have to pay, regular payment. All right. Then it's going to be 60 payments starting from February. Starting from February, if we do an agreement in January, you start paying in what? In February, and you are supposed to do your last payment in December 2029. All right. If you do this, you're gonna do 60 payments. But sorry, if you decide to pay immediately in January, it means it is no longer 60 payments. It is how much? 60 plus one payment. If you decide to pay from an instant that you do an agreement, like when now you are happy that you are getting a car, now you become so excited. All right, you add an extra month. All right. But if you are paying from February, it is okay. Let's say you end your payments 3 months earlier or 2 months earlier, which is November, October. You make your last payment in October 2029. Last payment in October 2029. This is your last payment. What will happen is that from this month that you're supposed to pay 60, it means you have to subtract 2 because now you have ended your payments in an earlier month than the required month, right? My English is not winning today, but yes, okay. So now, if that's the case, it means the number of payments that you're gonna now do, it is how much? 58. But let's say we have a scenario where both of these occurs. You start paying in January and end in October. So we say, all right, the normal payments, it is 60 that you're supposed to do. But now you start in where? You start in January. So it means super pile. We're gonna add a month because you started immediately, right? But you're gonna subtract how much? 2 months because you ended earlier. All right. So it means the number of payments that you're gonna do, it is what? It is 61 61 minus 2. 61 minus 2, it is how much? It is 50, 59. So it means you're going to do what? 59 payments. This is what is going to happen. But within that 59 payments, after this month, it is not that you are taking this car. No. What will happen? It is the contract says you can start fetching a car on December 2029. So it means whatever that amount you have, whatever that amount you have here in October 29, you have to add it to the interest that is gonna stay in that in that campaign because you ended paying at October, but there is 2 months that are still left there. You do not need to pay here. You are done paying, but the agreement says you can come fetch your what? Your car in December 2029. So that money there won't only sit there or do whatever. What will happen instead? You will just add 1 plus I to the power of the number of payments that you missed, or you decided to finish earlier with. The number that you are subtracting with here, actually, if I were to say this precise, the number that you're subtracting with here, you're gonna say into 1 plus interest to the power of that number. Yo, I tried my level best to explain this. It is hard to explain something within a question because we haven't done any question. I haven't uploaded videos under finance, so After that, maybe answering questions under finance will be much easier because now I will have explained everything. All right. But for now, please take it like this. The important part it is you knowing how to calculate sinking fund, the first part, then immediate payment as well as finishing early to pay. These are the important things that you know, as well as adding this thing here. All right. Let's now be in a position of tackling our question. Let's be in a position of answering our question thereof. Remember, in we use future value. Why? We use future value because now we are doing regular payments. Remember, as you are laboring there, you are gonna be doing regular payments to the store. Okay? Yes. So let's see here. What do I have? A company. Oh, I've removed my thingy, but it's fine. A company set up a sinking fund. I know how to set up a sinking fund, right? And made the first payment into this fund on the day the old machinery was bought. All right. So what happens then? The first payment into this fund was made immediately. So also this applies to when you open a savings account. Savings account. You open it in January. In January, you just open it. You open savings. Then you start doing payments in February. You start putting the money that you want to put where in January from February actually until the last day, right? But now in this case, this person is now happy to start saving. He's very excited to start saving to an extent that this particular person does not even want to wait for February to do the first payment, but rather immediately after opening the savings account, he or she immediately does what? Immediately does the payments into that savings account. So we know immediate. What happens to immediate? Immediate tells us that what we're gonna add what? Add an extra month. Then the last payment was made, last payment was made 3 months before the new machinery was purchased, right? So it means now, whereas the payment was supposed to be made on the day that the machinery was purchased, instead, they decided to pay more money such that they end 3 months earlier. So 3 months, the last payment was made 3 months before the new machinery was bought. So it means now they skipped 3 months that they were supposed to pay by doing what? By paying a large amount of money, maybe, so that they they stop in doing regular payments in that 3 months earlier, right? So it means from this statement we're gonna do what? We're gonna subtract three because they end 3 months earlier. All right. Yes. Then again, as we continue at the end of 5 years, so the duration is 5 years there. The duration is the duration is 5 years. I want to remove this. Okay, it's fine. The interest earned on the sinking fund was 10.25% compounded monthly. This is very important. Monthly, the money from sinking fund and the 180,000 from the sale of the old machinery was used to pay for the new machinery. All right. So it's fine. Let's just find sinking fund again. So we said sinking fund. Sinking fund. It is what? It is inflation subtract what? Depreciation. Okay, this is our sinking fund. But now, what was our inflation? Our inflation was something like 600 and what? Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! All right, let me recalculate that. I removed it without realizing, so it's gonna be 500,000 1 plus 0.063 to the power of 5. So we get that our inflation amount was 600 and or 678,635, comma 11 minus the depreciation part was 180,000. So this gave us an amount of 498 635, comma 11. All right. Then now, remember a formula for future value. Remember why are we using future value? Because now, as this particular person or this particular company opens a savings account, they're gonna do what? They're gonna invest. They're gonna input an amount, a certain amount of money, monthly. So we call it what? Regular payment. So we say f it is equal to x what? 1 plus I to the power of n minus 1. This is our formula. Divide by I, right? But now, remember I said if you have the number of months that are left on your, if you do early, if you end your payments earlier, these three, you're gonna do something about it. I said you're gonna do this at the end of your formula there. You're gonna say 1 plus I to the power of whatever this amount is here, right? Yes, every time after doing after the company or whatever has made payments, is done paying for that particular amount earlier, then it means you have to add that particular thingy, which is like this. I'm saying you have to add 1 plus I to the power of n, which whereas n corresponds with the what? This is not the number of payment. This is not the number of payments missed, or rather, the payments that were not done due to ending the transaction early or finishing to pay earlier. All right. I don't know the better English for that, but I hope you get what I'm trying to say. So here, what is my F? My F, it is my sinking fund. My sinking fund, it is my future value. This is the amount that I want in the future. All right, by doing what? By doing regular payments of whatever specific amount thereof. So what is my F? My F, it is 498,635, comma 11. It is equal to, the question says calculate the monthly payment. The monthly payment, it is X into the sinking fund, right? Monthly payment into the sinking fund, X into 1 plus. Now let's calculate the number of payments. All right, I, it is gonna be the interest here. They said it is 10.25, which it is 0.1025 divided by the number of number of months. It is 12 because it is compounded what? Monthly, right? To the power of n. How do we calculate n? N is gonna be n. It is equal to 5 times 12. The normal number of payments, it was supposed to be this, right? 5 times 12. But now they did immediate payment. Remember, you have to add 1 immediate payment and then minus 3 because they finished earlier, right? And minus 3. When you punch this on your calculator, it should give you something like 58. So this is your number of payments where you're gonna substitute it here, 58. All right, then minus 1, close your bracket. All right, then you divide by how much? You divide by 0.125 divided by 12. Then I said please add this for me. Add what for you? Add this for me. 1 plus I. What is I? 0.125 divided by 12. But now, how many months there? How many months there of? Months, it is 3. Okay? Okay? This one should be similar. Should be similar for all of these things. Okay? Yes. So how do I punch this? Normally what I do is I take this part, I punch this whole part on my calculator. This whole part here. I punch this on my calculator. All right? I punch all of that in my calculator to avoid doing multi calculations. So I'm gonna say divide bracket 1 plus 0, or 0, 1025 divide by 12 all raised to the power of 58 minus 1, close bracket, divide by 10 or 0.1025. I so wish I had a calculator to show you on the screen how we do this. Divide by 12, then now I multiply everything by 1 plus 1025.1025 rather, divide by 12, all raised to the power of 3. All raised to the power of 3. For punching this whole part on my calculator, I get that 498, it is equal to x multiplied by whatever the value that I got. The value that I got, it is 76, comma 50 or 59,097, blah 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 blah. Then I do not I do not remove my answer from my calculator. So I'm gonna say x, it is therefore this number there. This number I'm gonna say on my calculator 498,635, comma 11, divide by answer. So how much do I get? I get 6,510, comma 336. So this is the amount that the particular company will invest or will do regular payments on each and every month until the end of 58 payments. All right. So it means that company. Did they say it is a company? Yes, that company will make. The company will make 58 payments. 58 payments of 6,510.36. You do not need this. You do not need to complete this. This is me trying to explain further. So thank you for bearing with me on question 7. Normally, question 7 needs a thorough understanding. So I had to make sure that at least you try to understand the of. All right. Yes. So let's meet on question 8. Thank you.